inside, and Washington has done that incredibly well so far.
Reese missed the first one, still with it, blocked.
The basketball world is closely watching what might be one of the strangest and most confusing endorsement deals in recent memory, as Angel Reese keeps putting out highlight reels that aren't the kind you save for a season recap, but the kind that make commentators want to hit the mute button instead of replaying them. With her big Reebok signature shoe set for a 2026 launch, insiders are starting to wonder if this could turn out to be the most expensive mistake since someone thought bringing back the XVL was a good idea.
Chicago Bravado once again got their ass kicked. Angel Reese was so bad last night, the announcers calling the game, they were laughing at her performance. Check out some highlights for yourself. Well, KC, you always do this. You select a couple of bad plays and try to convince us that Angel Reese isn't a superstar.
Every time Reese steps on the court, stat keepers across the country brace themselves, and not with excitement, because in her sophomore season she has done something so puzzling it's almost an art form, shooting just 31.5% on layups while taking the third most layups in the league. We're talking about a 6'3" professional athlete missing shots that even high school junior varsity players usually make with ease, and the math of it makes no sense at all. It seems almost impossible to be that close to the hoop and still make each attempt feel like a coin toss.
Angel Reese, face up, oh, here we go, oh snap, cook up, crossover, crossover, right to the rack, and but we got our own rebound. Beautiful, we got our own offensive rebound. Here we go again, a little bit of travel action in there. And we missed another, but don't worry, we grabbed our second rebound. Let me just posture up real quick, talk my ish. You can't guard me. You can't guard me. Point forward.
One game against the New York Liberty gave the ultimate example when Reese missed 4 straight putbacks in just 12 seconds, with 2 of them swatted right back at her. The clip didn't just go viral, it exploded online, becoming a living example of how to turn a simple basketball play into unintentional comedy. While her season field goal percentage sits at a seemingly decent 44.4, that number loses its shine once you realize most of her shots come right at the rim, where most pros finish layups at a 70 to 80% rate. Somehow, she has turned the easiest and most basic shot in the game into a 50-50 gamble, leaving fans wondering how a player this tall can be so unreliable under the basket. Perhaps the clearest sign of how rough Angel Reese's shooting has become isn't even in the stats, but in the voices of the commentators, who are paid to make every play sound like a blockbuster moment.
Washington Mystics just put belt to ass on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. Sonia Citron was out there cooking with hot grease. Stir the pot, stir the pot. Keep cooking, Sonia. That was a show. She put on a flat out show versus Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. Boy, did they ruin Angel Reese's.
NBA and WNBA commentators are experts at making even a routine free throw sound like the shot heard around the world. But when Reese heads toward the rim, those same voices suddenly struggle to keep it together. Sometimes they even lose the battle. Like in a recent game when, after yet another baffling miss on what should have been an easy layup, one commentator couldn't hide it and chuckled live on air. This wasn't the playful teasing you hear after a rare mistake, it was the sound of genuine disbelief mixed with professional frustration. When the very people whose job is to sell your greatness start laughing at your attempts, you've stepped into territory most athletes never even come close to experiencing.
In math, but it looks like Angel Reese wins 1 out of every 3 games. If I remember correctly, Angel Reese has beaten a team with a winning record once this season. So you tell me how Angel Reese impacts.
The internet has had a field day with Reese's missed layups, which have become their own subgenre of sports content, racking up millions of views as fans add circus music, slow motion replays, and freeze frames to stretch out every awkward second. This isn't the kind of viral moment that helps sell sneakers, it's the kind that has Reebok's marketing team staring at the ceiling at 3 in the morning, wondering where it all went wrong. Maybe it could have slipped under the radar if her team were piling up wins, but the Chicago Sky are sitting at 7-21 and playing a brand of basketball that makes some recreational league squads look polished. Reese's cold streak isn't just a personal slump, it's the headline act in a season-long struggle that has fans and executives shaking their heads as the Sky endure an 8-game losing streak. And here's the twist, they've gone 0-5 in games without her due to a recent back injury, creating the strange paradox that they can't win with her but are somehow even worse without her, like complaining about a busted air conditioner while your whole house is on fire.
wants to bring in talent to grow Reebok and like have people wear it again because no one does. So one of his genius decisions was this. Fucking signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is, she's the queen of like fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely
Coach Tyler Marsh has done his best to put a glass half full spin on things, but even the most carefully worded post-game quotes can't hide the truth that this roster was built around a player whose most consistent highlight is accidentally fueling blooper reels. When your star is best known for missing shots that a blindfolded middle schooler might bank in, championship talk doesn't just fade, it disappears. Yet here comes Reebok, going all in on the Angel Reese revival project. Under Shaquille O'Neal's leadership, she became their first major basketball signing in years, with a signature shoe planned for 2026. On paper, it looked like a smart risk. A young player with a strong online following and potential to grow into the role. But paper promises have a way of folding into origami disasters when reality steps in, and Reebok CEO Todd Krinsky even compared Reese to Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson, claiming she has the same culture-shifting potential.
Through All-Star break, we come back, 9 turnovers. We sit out with a back injury, we come back, can't make a fundamentally sound layup. Maybe they rushed you back from injury. Tyler Marsh, did you rush her back from injury, Tyler Marsh?
Except here's the awkward part, Shaq and Allen Iverson weren't just cultural icons, they were dominant forces on the court. And with Reese, that part is still missing. The longer the misses pile up, the more that comparison feels less inspiring. And more like a what were you thinking moment, leading people in the industry to wonder if Reebok truly understood what they were signing up for. When you make an athlete the face of your brand, you're not just investing in their present, you're betting on where they're headed. In Reese's case, that trajectory looks like a straight line into the bottom of the rim, followed by the ball bouncing helplessly into the stands. Ironically, the most merciful twist in this ongoing basketball soap opera has been her recent back injury, which has kept her out for multiple games. And while injuries are never something to celebrate, her absence has given everyone a break. From the weekly parade of fundamental basketball blunders, with the timing proving almost convenient, coming just as her missed layup highlight reels had reached peak viral saturation, giving the basketball world a moment to catch its breath. From watching a professional struggle with shots most fans make at the local gym.
I went to school with, I'm not gonna follow people who are not friends of mine, but acquaintances, right? Again, you don't have to, I'm not gonna do that to you. But again, sometimes I'd be looking at their page and bro, you were fucking lucky. Cause I wanted to unfollow you so fucking bad, but again, I'm not no celeb, so I ain't gonna do it. But I low-key be plotting on niggas to unfollow me, just so I could be like, bitch! I don't even fuck with you like that. For real, for real. And a lot of times I be wanting to unfollow people because a lot of people don't even really post.
For Reebok's marketing team, this injury break has been a gift wrapped in ice packs, buying them valuable time to figure out how to sell a shoe tied to a player whose most replayed moments are misses. The timing was even more fortunate because it kept her out of a matchup against the Indiana Fever, led by her old college rival Caitlin Clark, who has carried her superstar aura straight into the pros with production to back it up. It spared everyone from what could have been the most lopsided individual showdown since David met Goliath if David had been blindfolded and Goliath had a basketball in his hands. From a business perspective, the Angel Reese experiment is becoming a masterclass not in brand building, but in how a high-profile endorsement can unravel in full public view. Reebok has poured serious money into a player whose on-court performance undermines the core idea behind athletic endorsements that winning inspires buyers. The formula is simple. Success sells. Fans wear Jordans because they want to be like Mike, and they rock LeBron's gear to channel that championship aura. But what's the pitch for Angel Reese's signature shoe? Miss layups just like your favorite pro? While the brand has tried to spin it by leaning into Reese's unapologetic personality and online influence, selling her as a cultural figure rather than a basketball force, that approach might work for a lifestyle brand. But for performance basketball gear, it's a serious problem, because you can't convince hoopers that wearing these sneakers will improve their game when the player on the box keeps showing that basketball fundamentals are not her strong suit.
Marsh has this point forward thing on lock. Tyler Marsh has this Angel Reese point forward thing on lock. There we go, pushing the pace. Oh, yeah, Angel. It's okay. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. All right, here we go. We got an entry pass. It looks like it's going to be to Elizabeth Williams, and oh goodness.
And it's not like Reese's flaws are hidden by her teammates. If anything, the Chicago Sky roster makes them even more obvious. Instead of creating easy scoring opportunities that could hide her shaky finishing, the offense often forces her into tough shots she's not making. With first-year head coach Tyler Marsh in charge, the challenge has become building a winning system around a player whose most dependable output is viral social media clips, which is like being handed a sleek sports car only to find out it has square wheels and then being told to win the Indianapolis 500. The most telling part is that when Reese has been sidelined with injury, the Sky have still managed to look even more lost, proving the saga isn't just about one player, it's a full-blown franchise identity crisis. Some of the team's numbers tell a story that's as awkward as it is revealing, as certain offensive metrics have actually improved in games without her, even though the losses keep piling up. This means that while her rebounding stats might look solid on paper, her overall impact could be quietly dragging down the team's quality of play, creating the kind of maddening paradox that has coaches reaching for antacids and general managers quietly updating their RSMs. But here's the twist: in today's social media-driven sports world, failure can sometimes be more profitable than success. Reese's missed layups pull in millions of views, her questionable shot choices fuel endless meme threads, and her constant "what was that" moments have become a goldmine for sports commentary channels.
She had a good game, 22 points, 13 rebounds, but she shot terribly. She got bailed out so many times, throwing up brick layups, getting phantom foul calls from the refs. She did make 10 of 11 free throws, so that is good. 6 of 16 from the floor is not good at all. 0 of 1 from 3. She was a -11. Listen, man, Kiki Area Fan.
It has created a strange, almost perverse incentive where athletic underperformance is rewarded with clicks, clout, and constant attention. And Reese has slipped into the role of basketball's version of a reality TV star famous for being famous, no matter what the box score says. For Reebok, that's both intriguing and dangerous, because the question is whether to double down on a player who commands attention even if most of it is negative. The problem is that viral fame built on failure burns quickly and fades even faster. One day you're the internet's favorite unintentional comedian. The next day the audience has moved on to a new blooper reel, leaving your endorsement deals tied to a name no one wants to touch. That's the line between being memorable and being worth remembering, a line that's becoming impossible to ignore as the 2026 launch of Reese's signature shoe draws closer, with Reebok already all in, money spent, preview shots released, hype machine running at full speed, hoping for a culture-shifting moment. But if the laughs keep coming, the culture might shift in a very different direction. And the thing about culture is that it defines itself. And right now, the culture around Angel Reese is all about basketball confusion. Industry whispers are growing louder as some insiders claim Reebok might pivot, abandoning the performance basketball shoe idea and instead steering her signature line into the lifestyle lane, quietly admitting that the link between Reese and on-court excellence is hanging by a thread at best.
There's a dude on the internet who cracks me up. On TikTok, he's put together a load of Angel Reese clips, and it'll say Angel Reese part 36, and it goes, Angel Reese going up for another layup, she misses, bang! And I mean, dude, it's the funniest. And my whole thing is this, dude, she just seems as uncoordinated as a baby giraffe. Yeah, I mean.
Others speculate about an indefinite delay, hoping that time and a few viral distractions might dull the sting of those endless low-light reels, while the more pessimistic voices wonder if Reebok is quietly searching for an exit strategy altogether. Because even though the brand has publicly doubled down on its commitment, in reality, no company can ignore the business nightmare of tying its name to consistent athletic failure, and eventually, even the most patient investors start demanding numbers, with the ROI on viral misses hardly suggesting long-term growth. So what we are witnessing with Angel Reese is something modern sports marketing has never really seen: a signature athlete whose signature move is missing shots that should be automatic, turning Reebok's gamble on her potential into a crash course on how endorsements implode when hype runs miles ahead of actual performance. And as the Chicago Sky spiral further into basketball irrelevance, with Reese still delivering unintentional comedy gold, the questions facing Reebok grow painfully urgent, such as how do you sell shoes when the brand ambassador keeps proving she can't deliver where it counts? How do you market performance when the performance is actively sinking? And how do you build a lasting sports brand around someone whose main contribution to the game is fueling blooper reels?
It's so bad that when Caitlin Clark and her were supposed to face off against each other the other week, The ticket sales went down from $100 to like $5 because Caitlin Clark got injured. She had a quad injury, so she wasn't playing. So guess what? No one wanted to go watch. And if you don't know Caitlin Clark, she's pretty much the GOAT of the WNBA and is the reason why people are watching. No one watches you, Angel Reese. No one watches you. The only thing that I enjoy watching is all the clips on TikTok of you just countlessly just missing every
The clock is ticking toward the 2026 launch, and every clanked layup, every viral moment of basketball confusion, and every loss in the Chicago Sky's ongoing disaster brings us one step closer to what could become the most painfully awkward shoe release in sports history. Because with that release date looming like a shot clock about to expire, Reebok is facing a nightmare they can't fix with glossy ads or influencer posts as every missed layup, meme, and viral clip stacks against them, turning what should have been a triumphant debut into a public countdown toward disaster, with the hype machine they built for Angel Reese now tangled in the same net she keeps bricking shots into. And the Chicago Sky's season offering no lifeline as each loss deepens the link between Reese's brand and basketball irrelevance, leaving fans no longer debating her potential but openly questioning how she landed this deal in the first place. While sports talk shows treat her highlight reels like late-night comedy sketches, with the punchline always being the same: you can't teach finishing, or maybe you can and someone should, and behind closed doors you can bet marketing teams are scrambling with damage control drills, brainstorming ways to shift the narrative before launch day turns into a corporate faceplant, with ideas like a lifestyle rebrand or heavy celebrity co-signs to mask the performance issues all on the table. But the reality is that you can't erase years of low-light clips with a single photo shoot, and while Reebok plays defense, Reese keeps playing the same game, pulling rebounds, taking shots, and somehow missing the ones that should be automatic.
This was an epic embarrassment, bro. Remember, this is a pro basketball player. Won a national championship. Their calling card they'd like to hang over is she beat Caitlin Clark. Remember that. Watch this.
The viral content keeps coming, but instead of selling sneakers, it's selling skepticism, as every laugh, sarcastic tweet, and slowed down blooper edit chips away at whatever performance credibility was left. And if things keep trending this way, the launch of the Angel Reese signature shoe won't just be awkward, it could become the textbook case in sports marketing for how hype without substance turns into a brand's worst nightmare. Because while Reebok wanted a culture-shifting star, they might just get one. Only the culture she's shifting is the culture of professional basketball embarrassment. And by now, the Angel Reese saga has grown into something far bigger than one player, one team, or even one shoe deal, serving as a living, breathing reminder of how quickly the sports world can turn on you when the numbers don't match the noise. As what began as a bold, attention-grabbing signing has morphed into a slow-motion PR crash that everyone can see coming. But no one seems able to stop, with every storyline around Reese now raising the same question: is this still about potential? Or is it just about clicks? And while her supporters cling to the idea that she can figure it out, the game film tells a different story. One of a player whose high profile has outgrown her production and whose celebrity is now fueled more by failure than success, leaving Reebok's real problem not just the missed layups, but the fact that those missed layups have become her brand, because you can shift marketing angles, reframe her image, and flood the internet with flashy campaign videos, but in the end the product you're selling is tied to what happens on the court.
Her dominant performances in June, she earned her All-Star selection. But these aren't just a couple of bad plays. These aren't bloopers. These aren't rare moments. This is the norm. The same thing happened last week when the Chicago Bravado got their ass kicked by the Minnesota Lakers. I don't have to convince you that Angel Reese has no impact on winning. Just look at her record, look at her resume in the WNBA.
And right now, what's happening on the court is a steady stream of content for blooper compilations, with the Chicago Sky's season only cementing the narrative as the team sinks deeper into irrelevance and Reese continues serving up unintentional Comedy gold, strengthening the link between her brand and basketball disaster week by week, and even neutral fans with no stake in the sky or Reese are tuning in just to see if the latest viral clip will top the last. Which is the real danger, because once the audience comes for the joke instead of the game, you've lost the foundation that makes an endorsement deal work, and the 2026 launch is no longer just a sneaker drop but is shaping up to be a public test of whether hype alone can carry a brand through a storm of on-court embarrassment. And unless Angel Reese pulls off a total transformation overnight, which, based on her track record, is about as likely as her nailing her next wide-open layup, Reebok could soon be stuck pushing a product nobody associates with success. As what began as a bold gamble now teeters on the edge of becoming the ultimate cautionary tale for athlete endorsements in the social media era. Because the cold truth is that sometimes the person making the most noise is making it for all the wrong reasons. And no slick ad campaign, no celebrity cosign, and no unapologetic branding can turn highly visible basketball flaws into championship credibility, leaving the only real question not if Reebok will regret this investment, but when before launch day turns into a quiet corporate pivot, or after it becomes the most expensive punchline in basketball history.